Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is the Narcissistic Resistance, and this resistance video is sponsored by contribution from Hans. And here's his story. The Farmhouse. Most of my memories as a child start here, around 3 years old, getting bashed in the head with a rusty metal ring I found on the ground that me and a neighborhood kid were fighting over. My eyes were covered and I had trouble finding my way back to the house. Leaning over, I filled up the bottom of the bathtub with blood from my head. We never went to the doctor or anything for this. It was probably only going to be a few stitches. I have a scar on my forehead today. Not long after this, we moved to the farmhouse. In the mid-'80s, my parents in their 20s moved me 3 years and my older brother 7 years to a rural farmhouse with 75 acres of rolling hills in the country. The house was not taken care of by the previous owners. They just threw trash everywhere. Out the window, in the cistern, over the hill, fuck it, toss it. It was also very old, drafty, kind of dilapidated and extremely infested. It actually had an outhouse when we moved in. There were other buildings like a caving-in old log cabin, a barn, and farm equipment back to the 1800s. That was the fun stuff, exploring, adventuring into the woods, the creek nearby, digging for treasure, etc., because the house itself was just awful for a child to grow up in. This was, among other things, a very late observation for me and a realization to come to, I think, because I have a whitewashed view of all the bullshit that went on in the goddamn house. Much of it I blocked out and never dealt with in a truthful, objective way. It was infested. When we arrived, there were several snakes we saw caught killed around the house, and would always find snakes in the creepy midget door attic. 2 small spaces in the upstairs bedroom I slept in. But they weren't the problem. They were feeding off all the fucking rats and mice running around the kitchen and upstairs at night. There is a very distinct smell of a dead rat that I know all too well. That is when you go searching in the vicinity for a corpse, and man, do I know that smell. Working in Brooklyn, not only did I get bit by a rat under my desk, and some girl in gift wrap nearly had her toe bitten off by a rat. Okay, because the rats were like cats in that store. The old security guards that worked there, they were there for years, these old Haitian guys, because there was a big Haitian community there. They were they literally had rat sticks, like you see if you watch It's Always Sunny and know the character Charlie. You ain't seen shit until you've seen a 60-year-old Haitian man beat a rat to death with a stick in the middle of the street in Brooklyn. Because you would go to these places that were so infested with rats, because of the way this building was. You know, they would attack. They were like cats, and they would literally have to fight them off and beat a rat to death with a stick. But they would also die in the walls all the time. And when they died, the stench of a rotting wrapped corpse. Oh, God, that store was disgusting. My Alf doll, just laying on the floor one day, had a dead rat stuck to it. They set out those blue crystal rat poison brown box trays and rat traps, and you'd hear them all night with their little claws scratching around and eating the poison. We also had a huge spider problem. Wolf spiders are pretty huge, identifiable, and quick as fuck to try to kill. We had tons of them in the basement and upstairs bedrooms, along with some unidentifiable mutant cricket type insect in the cellar. I was trying to sleep one night and I brushed the curtain and the spider just plopped right on my face. Kind of terrifying as a kid. It was the summer. It got so hot in the upstairs bedrooms we slept in, it melted the Commodore 64, warping the plug, and couldn't play it ever again. We'd have flies in the mounds in the upstairs windowsills, about 20 flies all at one time bouncing off the windowsill trying to escape. That is, if the sills weren't half filled with wasps. I mean, when I mean half filled, I mean take out the shop vac and suck the wasp corpses up. We had a lot of books, so there were a lot of silverfish, centipedes, and other little not so scary creatures. The upstairs roof apparently had a giant hole somewhere because one night I thought I was tripping out. There was a fucking blackbird inside just hanging out. But the worst of all this shit was the hideous roaches. I can't stand them. They were fucking goddamn anywhere. Dude, you had me at the rats because I couldn't deal with the rodents in that. It was one of the things that flipped me out. Working in those city stores was the rodents. I couldn't be around them like that anymore. So I couldn't even imagine this shit. But the way you describe it, I know it's all real. They would crawl on you as you slept. They were under the fridge. They got into my brand new camera I got for my birthday. They were inside the microwave readout. They were in the cereal box when you go to open it in the morning for breakfast and try not to puke. Mom would still make us eat the fucking cereal after tossing the roaches. She would leave her drinking glass out overnight and there'd be a roach floater and she wouldn't even notice. I swear she was and is blind to anything disgusting or downright evil. They were crawling up and down the walls. I still, to this day, unconsciously scan white areas for that black oval, sometimes winged wretchedness skittering about. The distant sound of roach skittering around the bottom of an aluminum drink there's a distinct sound of a roach skittering around the bottom of an aluminum drink aluminum drink can you forgot you left out last night, and it's clawing for its little life. Summer would bring in the winged fly roaches, and one night it was so bad, multiple just flying around my room, I started freaking out like they were attacking me and had to sleep on the downstairs couch for some peace. No wonder my favorite childhood book was Mickey Mouse and the Haunted House. Even in high school, one day I find a fucking roach crawl out of my book bag and I quickly killed it and hid it. I don't think anyone saw, but I remember such a distinct feeling of extreme shame and filthiness towards myself. It was disgusting. I think this also was a heavy contributor to us, now 3 kids and a younger sister, health issues. Yeah, you think? My younger sister had a lot of allergy problems and was always sick. More than me or my older brother, I had asthmatic issues, inhalers at basketball practice, yay, as did my sister. I think this is known to be associated with roaches. Dad did rip out all the carpet when the doctors figured out why my sister was also so sick. But now that I think about it, I always got down with strep. Get that shot in the butt, don't tense up as they show you a giant needle, bronchitis, pneumonia, go to the practitioner, bottle of bubblegum pink amoxicillin. I got to liking that stuff. I had it so often, top right drawer in the fridge, like once or twice a year still to this day. Just got over my yearly bronchitis last week. They never got me tested for allergies, and my skin was always breaking out with rashes because the house is absolutely filthy. Because you're living in filth. And that's what happens when you live in filth. I guarantee you the ventilation's bad, the heating system's bad, you're probably breathing in God knows what kind of monoxides. Until last year, I had never known my allergy was dust mites. Mom thought it was the detergent or something, but she would go nuts with bleach on everything, and my hands and feet would break out in red itchy bumps if I touched it. You're still going to be clean, she'd say. Someone should have told her to read the fucking label and not slosh poison everywhere. She'd dump a gallon into the well water to treat it because of the dead rat smell. They'd fall down there and I'd go to school with rat water smelling clothes. Oh, I can remember the smell of the water coming into the washer like I can taste it. God, that was a nasty shit akin to a sewage smell. Dude, you're lucky you didn't die. Like, now granted, it was an old farmhouse with a lot of holes and probably hard to get any of these infestations under control. And we weren't exactly middle class yet. But eventually, I know my dad had a six-figure income, later two salary earners, and we were doing well off. Why didn't we put a trailer there instead or move? I'm not sure. In the living room, the roof would always leak on one side if it was a moderate or heavy rain, and Dad would just peg up some plyboards and garbage bags and call it done. I think it was about 15 years later he finally got roofers to replace the whole damn thing. I can put it like this. He's like my other side, he's just like my other side grandfather. He wore two left boots for years, fucking his feet up just because he had bought them for 50 cents. We had a garden about, that would be something my mother would do that. Virginia would do that. No, Virginia wouldn't have worn. She'd make everybody else wear two left shoes. Okay, she shouldn't have. She sure as shit wouldn't have done it herself. That's the mentality. Cheap way out, cheap way out, cheap way out, and you live in squalor. Look, when we used to go down to my grandmother's shore house, we used to get eaten. We were literally sleeping in an attic with exposed insulation, plywood, okay, because she didn't want to finish it off because it was going to then mean it would have raised her property taxes something like $200. The screens had fucking holes that she tried, like they were so weak and so, because this is a beach house that was built in the 60s. So by the 80s, the original metal screens are so warped out and rotted out from the salt water, you just push. So you'd sit there and you get fucking eaten up at night in this hot attic by mosquitoes and bitten and the whole nine. And it was all because she was just fucking cheap. We had a garden about an acre and a half large, over 5,000 yards, which was cool, but it was a hell of a chore to hoe by hand, literally. No tiller until like 10 years later. Corn stalks taller than me and my brother. They seemed to plant all the crap I hated and was forced to pick, hoe, and weed stuff I never really liked. Peppers, green beans, zucchini, etc. Not that I didn't mind, but it was all excessive. The whole stretch of green beans, 30 plus plants. What the hell are we going to do with all this shit? Mom canned the cellar full, but we still planted like the Depression or Apocalypse was just around the corner. Long afternoons in that garden. I guess cause the house was so shitty, we were never seemingly allowed to have anyone over. Why would you want to anyway? I only remember one invite birthday party I was allowed to have and had the basketball guys over. Later during school, they were teasing me about living out of a cardboard box. I thought at the time they were harsh and wrong. I really hadn't known much different and never questioned it once until then. The cats, tons of them, mostly feral. They were replicating and shitting all over the shed. Yeah, these are shit rats. And listen, I love cats, okay, but feral cats are the worst. They are just fucking shit rats. You got rats and you got shit rats. And feral cats are shit rats. Dad would take a pile to the animal place, and I remember the worker telling him after about 3 trips of box screeching feral cats and in a stern tone that he needed to have the cats spayed and neutered. This makes sense, but at the time I remember my dad's response like, was like a scoffing, some anger on the way out. Never did any get fixed, and 20 to 30 cats was about the median as far as I could tell. Some would be sickly and having sinus issues, probably from all the cat shit and piss in that shed. What is your dad, Bubbles? I mean, from Trailer Park Boys? Yeah, pretty much. Feeding the shit rats. My favorite one would always seem to end up being the sick one, and I'd find it dead on the concrete floor. Or the dog got to one thinking it was a baby and ripping the neck out accidentally. You'd hear them fucking... So you got dogs and cats and like just... You'd hear them fucking out at night. I think it's the female that makes the noise. It's kind of unsettling. After the animal place ruffling, we started just releasing some out in the country. Shove a fistful of screaming cats into the back of a truck and away we go. Jesus. I remember feeling really bad about it, like I knew it was wrong to do this. Jesus, this is like white trash farm adventures. I mean, honestly. I think my dad's response was, what do you want to be, the one to kill them? Or something to the effect, if these things were the only two options, kill them as euthanasia or just drop them off on some guy's farmland. For some reason, the fucking toilet wouldn't flush, and we had only one bathroom, family of 5. At 7, me and 11 years old, my brother were hauling up 5-gallon buckets, 42 pounds of water weight, by a rope from a cistern to flush the goddamn toilet. 5 buckets in the bathroom, 2 to 3 in the hall. If you cursed, talked back, or just plain needed to take a shit, out to the cistern, to the rope, down a bucket. I found out if I filled all the buckets, then I could just streamline some curse words and not have to fill any more fucking buckets. They'd look at me straining and say, lift with your legs. I'd say, I don't know what that means. Nobody could get this concept to me by means of demonstration and explanation, just arbitrary hand gestures and nonsense to a child. I didn't learn this method incorrectly until I was in my 20s and from my employer training at the time. If we never complained about things, it was always, well, you have it better than we did. Oh, if we ever complained about things, it was always, well, you had it better than we did. And that made it okay to live in squalor. Mom would say they weren't allowed to bathe more than once a week, I think. And that sewage would back up into the bathtub. At least they had a sewage system, right? I'm sure as shit they didn't have roaches crawling up out their pant leg and backpacks in school like I'm Pigpen living out of a garbage dumpster. Shut the water off. You're using too much water. You'd hear if your shower was longer than 5 minutes. Yep, that's what I got. 5 minutes, like it was like prison. Kitchen timer, time limited showers. Tick, tick, tick. I still find myself out of the shower in this time frame unless I make the effort to break that trained habit. However, we would run out of water many summers and I had to make do for weeks via stored water jugs. Or you could just take your chance with the toilet flushing water from the cistern. Or just shower outside next time it rains with a towel and a bar of soap. We actually fucking do that at least once. Pretty sure the whole family. I don't understand this memory, but it creeps me out. One bath time, I think when I was around 11 or 12, Dad was at the bathroom door saying something about having to check the water. So I'm kind of weirded out and just sort of huddled down away from him while he fiddles with the knobs, I guess. I don't know what the fuck that was about. Dad. My father was very closed off. I saw him cry twice in my life that I can remember. When his mother died and when we had to put our dog down, he rarely showed emotion towards us unless it was anger or the uncomfortable hug and calm talk after punishment that seemed more like guilt and was sometimes apology ridden on his behalf. I was told he has hypertension, gets some sort of disability check for it still to this day. Something about my grandfather, his father, being a drill instructor in the army. My dad would just lose his fucking mind at nothing, turn red, and as a kid I remember thinking I was seeing the devil. You just never knew when he would completely lose his shit. This is invincible out of your mind. This is invincible out of your mind, loss of control rage. Oh wait, this is invincible out of your mind, loss. I got it. This is invincible out of your mind, loss of control rage, and then it's the monster loose. Spilled a glass, broke something, talked back if he has to repeat himself. If you say something he doesn't want to hear, like, Dad, that's a huge bowl of ice cream you have, then that's it, followed by some crashing and abrupt leave or scowl of hatred. He would flip a switch, and I still catch myself softly walking at night so I don't wake Dad up. God, you do not want to wake this man up. Then you get the monster. Because he's a child. He's a giant child that knows he's doing wrong, but doesn't want to hear it. He knows exactly where his weaknesses are, and he don't want to hear about it. He would beat us with his belt. I remember my brother got loose once. It was so funny in a moment of extreme terror to see my father struggling to keep his beltless pants up, chasing after my brother as he ran in circles through the whole house. Man, we both got beat after that, especially for laughing at him. Fuck him. I remember having bath time and my mom saw all the bruises all over my arms and legs and didn't do shit about it. I don't remember what happened or my father doing that, and I think I have some dissociative symptoms pointing towards therapy to possibly unblock what is most likely some repressed trauma. The worst time I can remember was when the dentist told my dad for the second or third time that I wasn't brushing properly. The braces were expensive, not my decision, and it was torture, but my teeth were crooked as fuck. So this night he comes at me in his rage, says he's going to get the pliers and rip my goddamn braces out if I can't brush properly. You know what? Every orthodontist would say you didn't brush. There's just something they always fucking said. God, assholes. Just fucking assholes. He's not brushing properly, so we got to keep these fucking braces on and keep it going. I mean, that's just all that was. Every orthodontist says you're not doing it properly. He actually goes and gets the fucking pliers, slams his fists on the sides of my face. My brace is cutting my mouth up. All up inside. Oh boy, did my mother love to go after my mouth when I had those braces, and she knew it. She'd get it and it'd get caught up in there. She's like, is it caught? Is it caught? Good. And bitch, God, you fucking lucky I didn't know. Yeah. Lucky I didn't know you died. Oh, it's a good idea not to tell me. This was the only fucking time I ever remember my mom doing shit about my dad's physical abuse. She didn't do shit seeing me covered in bruises in the tub. This was the only night I saw her actually stop him. You know why? Because you were seeing a dentist about it. You're seeing somebody on the outside who's going to look at the inside of your mouth and see it all cut up. Say, oh, what happened? That's why. That's why. The enabler will only protect you when they're covering their base. They're not protecting you to protect you. She's protecting herself. Narcissists only protect you to protect themselves and hide the truth. This was the only night I saw her actually stop him. I ran outside to the field and he came out later once he switched back to normal, apologetic, uncomfortable hug, and it's all good, and let's forget about it. I brush my teeth pretty damn well after that. I have a lot of back pain issues I struggled with for nearly half my life. I am told I am also extremely tense as my normal resting state. It occurred to me that maybe my entire back was frozen in a state of anticipation of that strike bell coming to come barreling down from behind. Or it's the fact you didn't learn to properly lift until you were in your 20s and you were hauling up 42 pounds of water on a fucked up pulley system. What do you think? Has more to do with, I think, improper lifting for God knows how many years. Your bad resting state is because you weren't lifting properly, so you're all hunched up, because that's how you got to sit comfortably. When you're 5 years old and that man flipped, it was like seeing your own dad turn into the scariest monster you could imagine, and it was always the monster we got when it was punishment time. I can associate a lot of physical abuse with something monetary usually. The braces were expensive. I had traded some of his baseball cards he gave me when he found out I had pretty much been swindled. There weren't anything of immense value, but it was a lopsided trade. Instead of explaining this to me, it was up against the table, hands out. Bad whipping for baseball cards. Bad whipping that time. Him yelling, "This is for betraying my trust." Whack. "This is for disrespecting me." Whack. Another time I stole $50 out of his change bowl to buy comics, and he belted me pretty good then too. It just always seems to be tied with money. I remember hearing the phrase over and over, "You won't be able to sit down for a week." Dad was usually, it's not even over money. I think part of it's money, and I think part of it is you dealing with the outside world is what he doesn't like. Anytime you're dealing with the outside world like that, it opens the possibility for you to expose him, and that's why he reacts the way he does. Money's part of it. The exposure is what drives his fear, is what drives these rages. The truth, the exposure of the truth coming out. Dad was usually gone for months at a time for work when he wasn't busy whipping us. Went all over the world for his job, but this would be 1 to 3 month trips, leaving us with Mom. He seems to carry a lot of resentment towards us still, and has stated repeatedly his dislike of his job, that he was making these sacrifices for us to put food on the table and we should be grateful for it. If he hated his fucking job, why is that our fucking fault? It's not. I dreaded the sound of him coming up that gravel driveway, sitting in my room because something I did to upset Mom. How bad of a child I was, and here comes the discipliner. This is fucking sad. I had to learn as an adult that discipline is not a means of release one's anger into a child. Mom never kept anything between us. She always ratted us out to Dad. Didn't matter what it was or how much we begged her and cried to not tell Dad. She would always immediately go right to him, blab whatever it was. He'd get enraged and all the rest. When I was about 12, I fell off our bridge about 15 feet to the creek, spraining my hands from holding onto the bicycle I was on, landing on my back. When Dad found out on the phone at work, his immediate response was, "God damn it, I can't even go to work without my kids falling off the bridge." Not, "Are you okay? Does he need a doctor medical attention?" Just anger that I was such a clumsy kid. I think that was more a shot at your mother being an irresponsible asshole. See, what I think is going on here, Hans, is your mother's pulling the strings of all this, manipulating your dad, whipping him up into rages. Your mother is the fire that stokes his narcissistic engine. Your mother. I don't think that was a shot at you. That was a shot at her. His rages at you was really beating on her because he has an inability to stand up to her, it seems. That he has to, making all these sacrifices for work, but yet he lives in squalor. Why? Because she chooses to live in squalor. That's why. If he's leaving for 1 to 3 months at a clip, why isn't she cleaning up the house? Why isn't she doing anything about it? Because it's her choice to live like that. Remember, she was the one telling you. She took a bath, she said that the bathtub backed up with raw sewage. As a child, she's the one used to living like this, not him. Or so it seems. I was so terrified of this man, I still sometimes jump when he comes at me from behind. I remember getting so pissed off at his shit that I tried standing up to him once. Fist of a 7-year-old, balled up, seething with anger, and he's like, oh, you want to fight me? I don't remember how that ended, but it probably me backing down while I was staring into those glaring eyes. Maybe that's how I wound up with those bruises. I wanted to run away. I planned it all out in kid terms. We were going to the city to be musicians and going to build a vehicle to get away from this shit. I had to draw up plans. When I told my brother about my plan to escape, he played along for a bit and then laughed at me halfway down our road, saying he was just joking with me. I was dead serious. I felt betrayed. In 7th grade, the bullying was so bad at school, I felt like I had nowhere safe to go. I wrote suicide as the answer on my desk in really tiny letters. The teacher must have found this after class because I remember a little uncomfortable parent-teacher meeting we had to have, but I can't say anything changed at all. Maybe I was crying out for help from fucking anyone, but nothing ever changed. When we were older, I realized my parents would make excuses and lies about something to go search our rooms for dirt, aka rule breaking. It would go like, we wanted to make sure your windows were closed because it was raining when we went into your room. You didn't do anything about the fucking roof though in the living room, right? In the end, like, we found inside a lockbox under your bed. Gotcha. They love doing this so much and so often, like it was a game to them. Let's go snooping. The accidentally opened mail because I thought it said, insert any fucking thing here. My brother said he would come home and find my dad in his room just laying on his bed watching TV, and he always felt like this was fucking weird. Yeah, my mother would be in my room all the time laying on my bed. All three of us kids recall phone calls at the house, especially in our teens, where we could obviously hear my dad breathing heavily into the phone, refusing to hang up like we don't know he's listening in. On my real first date in high school, 17 I think, when I thought my dad was dropping me off at the movie theater, he instead decides to plumb fucking watch the exact same movie we're seeing. He would always phrase things in a passive-aggressive way like, you don't mind me watching the same movie, do you? And you have to say you have to say no or you get the monster. So he sits down right behind us. Thanks, Dad. What a fucking asshole. What a fucking asshole. When I was 13, he found my porn stash on the family computer, we're talking 90s. Years later, at my brother's suggestion, he planned the whole thing, right? Now think that is true. He played like he was going through all the files on the computer and seemed to relish as he got closer and closer to that mysteriously titled folder. I knew my handful of partially nude, slowly downloaded photos was in, watching me get more and more anxious. He said something odd, opening one of the pictures. Oh, she's cute, I say. This is weird, Dad. He keeps going through them, and I just I just left, and he tells me, we won't tell your mother about this, okay? I agree and leave, feeling so creeped out. He won't talk about his childhood. We assume the worst. He supposedly told my mom once when they were dating, but she says she can't remember and feels bad about it. I don't understand why she wouldn't ask him to repeat it, because your mother's a cunt. Because your mother's a sociopathic cunt, okay, that is controlling your father. That's why. She don't care. Just like your mother don't care about you and didn't care to stand up for you except where it might bring some attention and exposure to her life, she don't care about your father either. How do you marry someone that you have no fucking clue what happened to them as a child? I know he was abused harshly by his father, but honestly, nobody really knows what all happened except him. Probably exactly what happened to us. Some too many beer nights, toys left on the stairs, and dad heavy-handed with belt or pliers. Wake up, get your ass out of bed was the commonly heard phrases. You need to get your ass in gear. You got a damn chip on your shoulder. You need to get your act together, boy. I don't care whose fault it is, you're all going to. God, how many fucking times I have to hear that shit. He would threaten me with military school when I would get rebellious. Dad's, the sex talk was, you know how to use a condom, right? That's it. Get the fuck out of the truck. He would play these games like I'm not going to tell you. He would play these games like I'm not going to tell you what I want so you can get it wrong every time, and now I can be upset with you. Every Christmas holiday we ask him what he wants because we can never seem to get it right, and we get, oh, I'll think about it, and then he never tells you anything. He's a woman in a man's body is what he is. He's a chick. Your father is a borderline chick, probably on the down low, probably unsure about his own sexuality, okay, having his nuts stepped on, living in squalor by some demanding sociopathic woman. That's your father. That's your father. Then he gets disappointed in a subtle way at present time, and now you feel like complete garbage. And you were given something you didn't like or want, and then we can return it if you like, but you're supposed to say no, it's fine. I had to learn much later that true giving doesn't have attachments and conditions to it. If you want to throw it in the fucking garbage, that's your choice. I can't be upset at someone for what they decide to do with whatever I give. But in our family, it's only acceptable if you use it the way we wanted you to. Later in life, I came to the thought that my father was living some things out vicariously through me. At 10, I started playing the guitar. He had mentioned he always wanted to learn and never did, so he just also had to buy one. Dude, he has jealous woman syndrome. He is like single white female, but it's your dad. Your dad's a single, when your dad's the borderline single white female. Holy shit. The more expensive one for himself, and he decided he was also going to take lessons with me, same instructor, father-son bonding. He was never any good at playing because he never really practiced like I did. He seemed to want to believe that he was at least as skilled as I was becoming, and he would do this creepy thing where he would make us watch him play very badly and stare at me and my sister watching our responses. Could we stifle the cringe? Why is he staring at us like that? My sister also thought this was creeping her out too. Like he knows he's bad, but if we respond accordingly, that's not okay, and you get the monster. He'll respond to how I want you to. God damn it. Yeah, he's an emotional histrionic borderline woman. That's what he is. When he bought me a requested minter I saw for a birthday, He had to, a week or two later, suddenly go out and buy the sliding deluxe more expensive model, and then never fucking use it. It has cobwebs all over it right now, I guarantee it. The wood chips there are from when I was over and fucking used it for him. He did this with all kinds of things. He would buy new shit, or like an old station wagon that reminded him of the old days. Never fucking drive it, just start it up once in a while. Brand new table saw, used it once, never again. Then there was a huge power washer in the garage, 10 years, never opened. Yeah, he's borderline. He needs the quick rush. He needs the quick adrenaline, and then he never touches it again. It's the borderline. I have nothing to wear. I have nothing to wear. That's your dad. Your dad's a histrionic, single white borderline female. That's your dad. The second I saw, hey, can I use that? Dad says it's yours. Then later, nope, sorry, Mom says there it is. There's your source. Mom says she wants it now. And of course she fucking does, like silly little children games. When I recently became aware of all these disorders and mental issues rampant all throughout the family, and my dad confirming to me, yeah, Mom is batshit and is never going to change, I finally decided to leave all this shit behind and go no contact. My dad's last word to me, and he had to stop me and make a little moment of it as the caring father persona. He said, I think you're making a mistake. Thanks for the positive encouragement, Dad. Probably like, I'll find you. Mom. Saturday morning, 4 a.m., the vacuum cleaner blares through the house. Dad is now furiously up. God damn it, and now everybody has to get up, and you're all going to clean all day. Yeah, that was the purpose. That was the purpose. That was her Pavlovian dog response to your father, to get everybody to do what she wants. That's how she cracks his whip. If I'm up, everybody's getting up right now, damn it. Me and my brother called it Bitch Day. It was everybody's start the cleanup program like little robots, or get the scaffolding, or get the scolding, hatefulness, Medusa. Always in those Medusa curls with that glare. Mom's upset, so then Dad gets pissed. Takes it out on my brother, takes it out on me. Then I take it out on my sister, and she calls 911. No more hitting the sister. How do I express my anger then? I start punching the walls instead, which infuriated my mom, understandably. Now I'm getting beaten for walls now I'm getting beaten for beating walls instead of my sister. Mom would just tell me to punch a pillow. She should have told that to my fucking father. Funny thing, now all those holes I punched are still there, and it doesn't fucking matter at all because no one could live in that house now. It's completely black mold infested and floor caving in. I think it would be therapeutic for my recovery to go take a bulldozer to that dump. I fantasize about going back there and watching the whole thing burn to the ground. Mom, what would be the point? Let it rot. Let it rot. It is the legacy of them. Why cover up their legacy? Let it sit there and rot for the world to see. And I knew I was right about your mother. Everything I said about in your father's story about your mother is right. She's the one pulling the strings for the whole operation. Mom told me that when she was potty training me, she found it amusing that I didn't want to wipe myself and found it disgusting. I remember holding it too long many times and having accidents so much that my father would threaten me with being punished to be sitting on the shitter the whole day. You want to be called stinky at school? When I was having accidents in my underwear, he would make me wash and scrub them in that nasty fucking toilet bowl, sobbing tears in the murky well water, scrubbing stains out of the underwear. My mom always seemed to be in an unhappy state, hypercritical, overanalyzing, condemning most of the time with her religious high horse. She loved some of her hymns and her off-key falsetto sing-song voice. Her resting facial expression was one of contempt, with a giant crease in her forehead, angrily staring straight ahead. She would say, focus on the positive, but then condemn me for every single little thing, nitpicking. Any fault or flaw she could get her hands on, she was all over it. I accidentally melted one of four of her wedding gifted bowls from the 70s, and she's still angry about it and constantly brings it up whenever she's mad at me. Because I microwaved it, she made up a rule: no microwaving plastic. She has these rules. Sometimes they make sense, sometimes it's illogical. Doesn't matter, these are the rules. Deal with it or you're being disrespectful. She would repeat these rule phrases so many times they are programmed in my head. Yep, my mother would do the same thing. Made no sense to anybody, but you had to live by it. Finally, I told her one day, for someone who says focus on positive, you sure as hell say an awful lot of negative shit, Mom. I challenged her to say one positive thing that I hadn't heard all day. Just one thing, just one about me, and it stunned me. She wouldn't do it, couldn't do it. Silence, contempt, glare. One of the last times I spoke to her, she started laying into me with her bullshit, and I abruptly barked back, "Fuck off." That stopped her dead in her attack. She was so unprepared for that one because I had never spoke to her that way. Nobody did. Nobody did. That's why she's with your father, because your father would never tell her to fuck off. Would never dare when I was younger. One of my golden moments for my highlight reel. Don't waste food. She flipped out when I threw out expired dressing nobody was using a year over the date. Yeah, expiration dates are for assholes. That was my mother's motto. Expiration dates on food, that only assholes go by those. You're a jerk. That's just a scam to get you to buy more salad dressing. When mold was on anything like bread, oh yeah, that was another thing. My mother would freeze bread because she thought because it was frozen it didn't get moldy. So what you would do is you would take out a green moldy frozen block of bread. It was hilarious. When mold was on anything like bread, you were told to pick the mold off and tear off that section and don't use it. Yep, she did that. And my father finally flipped out. It was a pack of hot dogs. Like, we don't eat fucking moldy bread. The green, you fucking dirty slag. She would eat all this expired shit just not to throw it away. Any rule break is like a sin to her. I'd smell the milk she'd be using and it was clearly expired. When we were kids, you were forced to use that milk until it was all gone, sour curdled or not. Clean that whole plate, son, or you're getting nothing. My dad said my brother was eating too fast, so he made him eat like a dog with his plate on the floor in front of the family meal that night. That was fucked up. My mother seems to love eating things people find absolutely disgusting. She would mix, that was another one. My mother would make these and then eat it in front of you. Ugh. And then burp it out. You fucking pig. You pig. For example, she would mix tin sardines, mustard, and pickles and make this tongue-flapping, slurping noise. Yes, making it. Eating that vomit pile in a bowl. Me and my sister would secretly make fun of this because it was utterly disgusting. To watch my mother eat was... This sucking noise. It's ugh. You're making fun of me. And then she'd give you the evil eye, that stink eye glare. When mom cooked, if she knew you didn't like a certain item, she would try to intentionally sneak it into the dish and find some excuses as to why she had to put that particular item into this particular meal. My brother-in-law was staying with the family for a bit and clearly stated he couldn't stand mushrooms. What's my mother sneak into the dish that night? Fucking mushrooms. Doesn't say anything about it until he bites in and puts down and asks, "Are these mushrooms?" And she smirks and acknowledges them, and then the excuse, "Well, I had to use them, so they were going bad." Back to the rule, back to the food rule, can't waste food. I would have gotten up and left. I would have been like, okay, you've told me everything I need to know about you. Bye. I realized one day how fucking terrible my mother actually is. My nephew was over with the brother-in-law for a week. Never had any crazy issues. He's there with her for a week, and suddenly, plumb out of the blue, he's now pissing his pants in school and beating his own head, saying, "I hate myself. Everyone hates me," and trying to throw himself off the balcony, saying, "I want to kill myself." 1 week. Maybe there's other shit going on within their family, but my brother-in-law swears he had none of those issues before, and certainly not to that severity. Poor guy. I told my brother-in-law he needs to get him and his son the fuck out of there and away from my mother. I offered to pay for an apartment while they looked for a house, just to iterate how toxic I am finding her to be. This shined some light onto my own long-standing personal issues with self-loathing, self-esteem problems, my internal critic, and my shrieking mother, etc. Also explains your father's shrieking rage, and because this is what she does. She puts bad thoughts into people's heads. I never knew I liked a lot of healthy foods and vegetables because mom would never cook them. Even when it was like a soup or a broth, she'd toss it all in just long enough to get them warm but not cooked. We had liver and raw onions a lot as kids, and mom seemed to love the fact we hated the taste of it. She would make ridiculous substitutions, like she ran out of flour and goes in the cornstarch, bad dabbing, and we're done here. And it would turn out awful, and she couldn't get it. I keep telling her, "Mom, you can't just substitute random shit you have laying around when you run out of an ingredient." Another rule of one of her 1,000-time repeated sayings: put things back where they belong. Okay, fair enough. Every label has to be facing out. There must be 2 of everything, or it must be on the grocery list, and if it isn't there, it's hell to pay. Who decides where everything in the entire house goes, Mom? Especially when the roof is caving in and you got roaches and rats and all the other shit going on. She could walk into the house and immediately know if something was out of place or missing until she got a little older and forgetful. When I stayed over, I put a few drinks in the fridge, a couple of food items in the drawers. Nothing moved out of place, just slightly less space. This is now a huge fucking problem. She even whined, "Everyone is using my stuff because it's all hers. I threw all my shit in the garbage. Don't waste food." My parents are sitting right now in utter silence, both on their iPads or phones, sending family group texts about nonsense, tens of them per minute, but not talking at all to each other or anyone. They're sitting there in the living room with the TV turned all the way down, not to damage Dad's hearing, which he is obsessed about because his father was hard of hearing from combat tours, and the fucking captions on. Because no one here can hear the TV, you have to read the subtitles to know what's even going on. Don't make any loud noises or they get spooked. Anything different is absolutely terrifying and alarming. Maybe part of it is getting old. They're in their 60s. But even my nephew, when he is older, is scolded for just being a kid, loud, funny, rambunctious, spontaneous. Even told my fucking mom right to her face, "You're mean." I just wanted to hug him so bad right then. I should have. Kids can tell the truth so plainly. It's so amazing. Sexual abuse. Me and my sister both had bathroom issues all the way up to first grade. When I was 7, I was molested. Her at 2, as if we were in an intimate relationship. Wait a minute. When I was 7, I molested her at 2 as if we were in an intimate relationship. This went on for a bit, and I had suppressed it for so long until I had that look in the mirror at 30-something breakthrough that I had been lying to myself about a lot of shit that went on way too long. As soon as the incestuous shit surfaced, I had to immediately write my sister a letter of acknowledging this awful shit I had done and never fessed up to, never apologized for, and tried to forget. I was so ashamed and guilt-ridden. I told her I didn't understand why I would even do something like that, but I take responsibility for my actions. You look, man, you're 7. Obviously, something was happening to you. Obviously. It was several pages, and I felt I had to message the photos of the pages to her right there, right then. An hour or 2 later, she responded, and accepting that made me completely break down onto the floor then. That shit was buried inside for 30 fucking years. I felt like such an awful person for never acknowledging it. That's not fair to her. Certainly not to any child, let alone one you should be protecting as her older brother. I can't wrap my mind around What I can't wrap my mind around is where I would get the idea that that kind of relationship was acceptable. Where would I get the idea to start to begin with? How does a 7-year-old of any sort of fucking sexual nature whatsoever at all? They don't. They shouldn't. Your mother did something. I'm telling you, that comes from your mother. Guaranteed. I remember being very young when I started becoming sexually aware, like in the bathtub playing with bubbles and trying to shove my penis in things. Maybe just a kid fucking off with his dick, but the way I was with my sister at such a young age and being sexually aware far before puberty, I think that's part of a child's brain that should not be active unless it has been forcibly made active prematurely by some sexual event taking place. I'm not trying to pick someone or something to blame my own actions on, but I just wanted to understand why that happened. Mom said that she was molested as... It's your mother. It's your mother. Your mother is a monster. Your mother is a monster. Your mother's a lot like mine. A lot like mine. When your father found the porn, why do you think she won't tell your mother? Because she's a sexual deviant bitch, that's why. Mom said she was molested as a child by the school bus driver. We don't even know what the fuck happened to Dad, but I think there is a chance that he was also, possibly by a family member. My cousin, 14, is in therapy for molesting his younger sister, 4, like passing the family torch of bullshit of all sides. This shit is rampant throughout this fucking family, and no one is allowed to talk about it or doesn't want to in the slightest bit or doesn't give a shit. Wouldn't my stay-at-home mom notice an inappropriate week-long intimate relationship going on with her 2 youngest children? Maybe not. She's blind to all kinds of evil shit, or she refuses to see it, or she was facilitating it. Because she wants you to relive her childhood. That's what's going on here. Your mother wants everybody in her life to relive her shitty childhood. And that's what she's doing with the conditions of the house, with the sexual abuse, all of it. Your father, all of it. All of it. Your father's an asshole in his own right. But he's controlled by your mother. Because your mother is on a mission to make sure everybody relives her childhood experiences. Here's an interesting possible puzzle piece. In my quest for answers to a shitload of my own issues I am working through. I found not one, but 2 birthday cards, 5 or 6 years old, from a priest that is known and listed, who's a known and listed sexual offender, currently fugitive, living in South America. Gee, who was the religious one with church? Your mother. Your mother. Your mother. Told you, either doing it or facilitating it. I had 2 birthday cards from this man, and his picture looked slightly familiar, but I don't remember those birthdays at all. He has settled molestation case from 2 young boys in the state we lived, nearby city, and all the same time frame in the late 80s. When I brought this up to my parents, it was like hitting a brick wall. No response. Cold, unsympathetic, like it doesn't mean anything. Can't tell me anything about this guy or why the fuck I would have 2 cards from him. Doesn't ring a bell. That's your answer. Your mother facilitated it, okay? Because she's a religious borderline nut job. Intent on making everybody relive her bad childhood. Ending. I'm trying hard out here on my own in the wilderness after finally breaking free. I realized every relationship I've ever had was just a copy of my parents' relationship. All my friends, family, they all played out the same toxic shit I didn't want to be around anymore or participate in. So I cut loose. No more codependency crap. No more people pleaser tendencies. Realized everything is a choice and nothing is automatic. Shoved everything into the car with no plan, no real place to go, but to start healing and go build a whole new life, my own life. Thanks for the channel, man. It's something therapeutic to hear that we're not alone. Keep up the good work, Hans. And sometimes you just gotta go. You just pack up, say I'm done, and I'm done, and you just go. Because when you realize, yeah, all your relationships are a carbon copy of them. Why? Because your mother was fucking intent on making sure everybody lived her shitty life. Every detail of it. Borderline monster. That's your mother. So, I hope that helps. Thank you so much, Hans, for your contribution and your story. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, a narcissist you'd like to expose, you'd like to set up Skype or a phone call or have a private video made, or you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or just make a contribution to the channel in general to keep it supported, growing, and successful, because this channel survives 100% on contributions from all of you. Without you guys, all this goes away. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with the PayPal and email links in the description box. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been The Narcissistic Resistance. Take care.